December 23rd, 2017. 2 days before Christmas. Sarah Mitchell, age 7, is having the meltdown of her young life because the last fingerling monkey in New Jersey has just been sold to the kid in front of her. Her mother is recording it on her phone. Not for memories, for evidence to show Dad why she's drinking wine straight from the bottle tonight. This scene is playing out in 735 stores across America. The last real Christmas at Toys R Us. Nobody knows it yet, but in 84 days, every single one of these stores will be gone forever. Not struggling, not downsizing. Dead. Murdered. By 3 Wall Street firms that bought the company, loaded it with $5 billion in debt, extracted $400 million in fees, and walked away whistling, while 33,000 people lost their jobs. This isn't a story about Amazon. It's not about changing consumer habits. It's not even about bad management. This is a story about how private equity firms performed a leveraged buyout on American childhood, charged it a management fee, and then billed the corpse for advisory services. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid? Well, growth is mandatory when Bain Capital owns your soul and charges you 7.25% interest on it. Welcome to late-stage capitalism, kids, where your childhood memories are just another asset class, and nostalgia is something to be monetized, leveraged, and liquidated. This is how Jeffrey the Giraffe died. Slowly, painfully, and with a $400 million bill for his own execution.
To understand how Toys R Us died, you need to understand how it lived. And my God, what a life it was. 1948, Washington, D.C. America just won the war. The economy is exploding. Soldiers are coming home, making babies like it's a competitive sport. The baby boom isn't coming, it's here, screaming and shitting itself. Enter Charles P. Lazarus, 25 years old, just back from World War II, where he served as a cryptographer. He's literally been decoding Nazi messages. Now he's about to decode something harder. What American parents want. His father owns a bicycle shop that's failing. Charles has $2,000 in savings and an idea: baby furniture. He opens Children's Bargain Town. Cribs, high chairs, strollers, the essentials for the tiny humans flooding America. But something weird keeps happening. Parents come in for a crib, then ask, "Do you have toys?" Because apparently, after you buy a cage for your infant, you need things to throw in the cage to make it stop screaming. The 1950s. Suburbs are spreading like a rash across America. Every house has 2.5 kids, a dog, and parents desperate to shut everyone up for 5 minutes. Charles realizes furniture is a one-time purchase. Toys? Toys are forever. Kids break them, lose them, get bored with them, demand new ones. It's a renewable resource of consumption. 1957. Charles does something insane. He creates a supermarket for toys. Before this, buying toys was like buying medicine in the 1800s. You went to a department store, told the clerk what you wanted, they fetched it from behind a counter. Kids couldn't touch anything, parents couldn't browse. It was retail prison. Charles says, what if kids could run wild, touch everything, break stuff? What if we made the store itself an experience? The first Toys R Us opens in Rockville, Maryland. 25,000 square feet of chaos. Aisles wide enough for kids to run, shelves low enough for kids to reach, everything designed to make children lose their minds and parents lose their money. The backwards are? Here's the real story. Charles hired a designer who presented the logo with a backwards R by mistake. Charles loved it. Why? Kids can't spell. This shows we're for them, not adults. A multi-billion-dollar brand built on a typo. It's poetry. It's stupidity. It's America. The early growth. 1960, 4 stores. 1962, 10 stores, all profitable. 1965, 20 stores. Jeffrey appears. 1970, 40 stores. $50 million in revenue. Charles had 3 rules. 1, discount everything 20% below department stores. 2, never run out of the hot toy. 3, make the store an adventure. 1966, the interstate highway system connects America. Suddenly, parents can drive 20 minutes to save 20%. They will. They do. Toys R Us follows the highways like a virus following veins. Every suburb, every strip mall, every place where minivans gather. 1978, Toys R Us goes public. Opening stock price was $0.85, adjusted. Market cap, $200 million. Wall Street reaction? Toys? Really? Charles rings the opening bell dressed as Jeffrey. The NYSE has never seen anything like it. Grown men in suits watching a giraffe ring a bell. And thus, Wall Street discovered that children's desires could be commodified, packaged, and traded like pork bellies. Beautiful. The age of gold begins. The 1980s, Reagan's America, deregulation, greed is good. And nothing says greed than a 40,000 square foot warehouse of Rainbow Brights and Transformers. 1980, 100 stores. 1985, 250 stores. 1990, 597 stores. Revenue growth, 1980, 500 million. 1985, 2 billion. 1990, 5.5 billion. By 1990, Toys R Us controls 25% of all U.S. toy sales, 30% of video game sales, 20% of baby products, and 100% of childhood dreams. They're not just the biggest toy seller, they're bigger than the next 5 competitors. If you made toys, you went through them. If you didn't, you died.
The 1990s, the Clinton years. The economy is on fire. The internet exists, but nobody understands it. And Toys R Us is an unstoppable juggernaut of juvenile capitalism. They're conquering the world. United Kingdom, 1985. British kids discover American excess. Canada, 1987. Polite children become demanding. Japan, 1989. They literally changed Japanese gift culture. Germany, 1986. German efficiency meets American chaos. France, 1989. French kids learn to want things. Australia, 1993. Even the deadly animals can't stop them. Charles Lazarus is now the emperor of a toy empire. Personal net worth, $1.3 billion. He owns more toy stores than most countries have hospitals. 1996, Babies R Us launches. Because why wait for kids to grow up? Get them from birth. The model, everything for babies, except dignity for parents. Diapers in bulk, you'll need them. Formula by the case, baby addiction. Clothes they'll wear once, equipment that costs more than cars. By 1999, 1,124 total stores. 651 Toys R Us USA, 473 international, 203 Babies R Us. $11.2 billion revenue. $11 billion from convincing parents that their love equals purchase volume. It's beautiful. It's horrifying. It's the American dream. The power dynamics. Toys R Us now decides what toys get made. If they don't buy it, it dies. What price points work. Their margins equals your price. What trends happen. They create demand. When companies live or die. Example, Coco in 1988 makes Cabbage Patch Kids. Toys R Us reduces orders. Coco bankrupt within a year. Example, Nintendo 1985.
wants to launch NES in America. Toys R Us says yes. Video game industry saved. 2001, the monument to excess. Times Square, the crossroads of the world. Toys R Us decides to build the most insane toy store ever conceived. Cost? $35 million. Size? 110,000 square feet. Rent? $24 million per year. Features? 60-foot Ferris wheel, inside, because why not? A 20-foot animatronic T-Rex, it roars every hour. A 4,000 square foot Barbie mansion. A 34-foot tall Empire State Building made of Lego. And a 5-ton Millennium Falcon. Because nothing says sustainable business model like paying $24 million annual rent to house a Ferris wheel in Manhattan. It's like buying a yacht during a tsunami. 1999, the absolute peak. Stock price, $35.50. Market cap, $7.8 billion. Locations, 1,500 plus worldwide. Employees, 75,000. CEO pay, $8.5 million, not including bonuses. Charles Lazarus retires as chairman. Perfect timing, like leaving a party right before the cops arrive. But underneath the Ferris wheel, problems are growing. Same-store sales? Declining since 1998. Walmart? Selling toys at a loss as a loss leader. Target? Somehow convinced millennials it's cool. Amazon? Exists, and Jeff Bezos doesn't sleep. 1999, Toys R Us partners with Amazon to run their website. Yes, you read that right. They gave Amazon their customer data, their pricing strategy, their entire online presence. Hey, let's give our future killer all our secrets and customer base. What could go wrong? Narrator from 2024. Everything could go wrong. 2000, dot-com crash. Toys R Us stock, $35. 2001, 9/11. Stock, $24. 2002, recovery? Nope. Stock, $18. 2003, maybe now? Nope. Stock, $12. 2004, dear God, stock, $10. The vultures start circling. And by vultures, I mean private equity. Same thing, but vultures have more ethics.
2004. Toys R Us is struggling, but not dying. Like a marathon runner with a cramp, not cardiac arrest. They still have $11 billion in revenue. They're still profitable. They just stopped growing. The board faces a choice. 1. Adapt to the digital age. Expensive, hard. 2. Sell to someone else. Easy, profitable for board members. Guess which one they chose? Enter the buyers. 3 private equity firms that looked at Toys R Us and saw not a toy store, but a piggy bank to smash. Bain Capital, founded by Mitt Romney. Yes, that one. Strategy: buy companies, load with debt, extract fees. Previous victims: KB Toys, dead. Dade International, dead. Stage Stores, dead. KKR, Kohlberg Kravis robbers, the OG corporate raiders. They did the RJR Nabisco deal, barbarians at the gate. Strategy: financial engineering over actual engineering. Vornado Realty Trust, real estate vampires, don't care about toys, just want the land under the stores. March 2005, the deal is announced. Purchase price, $6.6 billion. Cash from the buyers, $1.3 billion. Debt loaded on Toys R Us, $5.3 billion. Interest rate, 7.25%. Leveraged buyout explained for 5-year-olds. Imagine Tommy wants to buy Sarah's lemonade stand for $10. But Tommy only has $2.
So Tommy makes Sarah's lemonade stand borrow $8 from the bank. Now, Sarah's lemonade stand owes the bank $8 plus interest. Tommy owns the stand, but put in only $2. The lemonade stand has to pay back the $8 plus interest from selling lemonade. If it can't, it dies. Tommy keeps his $2 and walks away. It's genius. It's evil. It's legal. It's America. The math of death. Annual interest on $5.3 billion at 7.25%, $400 million. Toys R Us profit in 2004, $252 million. Shortfall, $148 million every year. They literally made it impossible for Toys R Us to survive. It's like entering a breath-holding contest with a plastic bag on your head. But wait, it gets worse. These firms didn't just saddle Toys R Us with debt, they charged fees. 2005, year one. Advisory fees, $60 million for advice on how to die. Transaction fees, $85 million for the transaction that killed it. Financing fees, $30 million for arranging the debt. Management fees, $15 million for managing the decline. Total year one fees, $190 million. Where the money didn't go. Store maintenance budget 2004, $120 million. Store maintenance budget 2006, $40 million. Result? Leaking roofs, buckets and toy aisles, broken air conditioning, summer fun, flickering lights, horror movie ambiance, broken floor tiles, lawsuit waiting. Updated registers from 1992. Store manager, Ohio. We had black mold in the storeroom. Corporate solution? Don't use the storeroom. Store everything on the sales floor. It looked like a garage sale. The digital disaster. 2005 IT budget, $100 million. 2007 IT budget, $25 million. Their website in 2010. Still running on code from 2001. Search function? Broken. Mobile site? Doesn't exist. Load time? 45 seconds. Checkout process? 17 steps. Amazon had one-click ordering. Toys R Us had 17-click ordering. If the site didn't crash, which it did, daily. While Toys R Us is dying, Walmart, opening 200 supercenters per year, selling toys below cost. Can't afford to lose money on toys forever. Target, exclusive designer toys, clean, bright stores. Somehow convinced people it's Target. Amazon, growing 30% per year. Infinite selection, delivers to your house. Run by a man who doesn't believe in profit.
2008, the financial crisis. The economy explodes like a piñata filled with subprime mortgages, and Toys R Us, already on life support, gets unplugged. Christmas 2008. Consumer spending down 20%. Toy sales down 25%. Toys R Us sales down 30%. Interest still due $400 million. The panic strategies. 2009. Let's match everyone's prices. Problem? They lose money on every sale. Solution? We'll make it up in volume. Reality? You can't make up negative margins with volume. 2010. Let's be the experience destination. Problem? Stores look like Soviet warehouses. Solution? Put up some balloons. Reality? Balloons don't fix broken air conditioning. 2011. Let's embrace e-commerce. Problem? Website from the Mesozoic era. Solution? Update the homepage. Reality? Putting lipstick on a digital corpse. The Parade of Doomed Executives. 2006 to 2009. Gerald Storch from Target. Strategy? Run it like Target. Result? It's not Target. 2010 to 2012. Jerry Storch. Yes, same guy. Strategy? Run it harder like Target. Result? Still not Target. 2013 to 2015, Antonio Ursulé. Strategy? International expansion. Result? Losing money globally instead of locally. 2015 to 2018, Dave Brandon from Domino's. Strategy? Run it like pizza. Result? You can't deliver toys in 30 minutes. They went through CEOs like a teenager goes through phones, each one arriving with a plan, leaving with a golden parachute, and accomplishing nothing except billing hours. Actual customer reviews 2010 to 2015. Went to buy a bike, no employees. Found one, he was asleep. Cheaper on Amazon, checked while in store. Ceiling tile fell on my child. Manager offered 10% off. Santa looked drunk, might have been drunk, definitely drunk. Jeffrey the giraffe costume had visible duct tape. My son cried. 2012, by some miracle, they make $100 million profit. Private equity response? Extract $200 million in fees. Hey, you made money. Give it to us, plus some you don't have. Thanks. 2016, vendors start demanding cash up front. Why? They can do math. Annual revenue, $11 billion, declining. Annual debt service, $400 million. Annual losses, $200 to $300 million. Conclusion? This thing is gonna die. Major toy companies start limiting shipments. Mattel? Cash on delivery. Hasbro? 50% upfront. Lego? Considering pulling out. Nintendo already has one foot outdoor. Christmas 2016, the beginning of the end. Hot toy, Hatchimals. Toys R Us allocation, 50,000 units. Customer demand, 500,000 units. In stock, never. Customer satisfaction, ha ha ha, no. Employee turnover rate, 2010, 45%, bad. 2013, 65%, worse. 2016, 85%, catastrophic. 2017, 120%. Mathematically shouldn't be possible. They were losing employees faster than they could hire them. It was like trying to fill a bucket that has no bottom and is on fire, and the water is also fire. September 18th, 2017. Toys R Us files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Restructuring, they call it. Like calling a funeral a permanent nap. Total debt, $5 billion. Assets, $6.9 billion, mostly real estate. Cash on hand, $300 million. Needed to survive holidays, $3 billion. Dave Brandon, today marks the dawn of a new era at Toys R Us. The new era lasted 177 days. That's shorter than Kim Kardashian's first marriage, and accomplished less. Christmas 2017, the death rattle. This should have been huge. Star Wars The Last Jedi toys, Nintendo Switch, demand through the roof. Fingerlings, the hot toy. LOL surprise dolls. Perfect storm of must-have toys. What actually happened? Vendors demanded cash up front. No cash to pay vendors. No inventory for Black Friday. Website crashed. Again. Employees already job hunting. Customers went to Target. Sales down 15% year over year. January 2018. The private equity overlords meet to decide Toys R Us's fate. The final math. Option A. Restructuring. Keep 400 best stores open. Cost, $500 million investment. Potential profit, maybe $50 million per year by 2021. Private equity return, minimal. Option B. Liquidation. Sell everything immediately. Real estate worth, $2 billion. Inventory worth, $500 million. Cost, nothing. Private equity return, immediate.
March 15th, the Ides of March, because even destiny has a sense of dramatic irony. Announcement: complete liquidation of all U.S. stores. 735 stores closing. 33,000 employees terminated. Severance? $0. Executive retention bonuses? $16 million. They paid executives $16 million to oversee the funeral. That's like tipping your executioner with the victim's money. How employees found out? Twitter, the news, customers asking, is it true? Not a meeting, not a letter, not even an email. Social media. Employee testimony. A customer showed me the news on their phone and asked if we were closing. That's how I found out I was losing my job. The everything must go apocalypse. Week 1, 10 to 30% off. Still more expensive than Amazon. Customers complaining about prices during a liquidation sale. Week 2, 30 to 50% off. Approaching Walmart prices, vultures arriving with scanners, resellers buying inventory. Week 3, 50 to 70% off. Shelves emptying. Fixtures for sale. Employees stop wearing uniforms. Week 4, 70 to 90% off. Ghost Town. Shopping carts for sale. Jeffrey costume on eBay. June 29th, 2018. The last day of Toys R Us. Parents bringing children to say goodbye. Taking pictures with empty shells. Kids crying. Parents crying harder. Employees giving away Jeffrey stickers. Security guards emotional. The last transaction, 9 p.m., Times Square store. Item, a Lego set. Price, 90% off. Still overpriced. The lights go off. 70 years of American childhood over. Final tallies. Inventory liquidated, $1.5 billion. Real estate sold, $2 billion. Fixtures and equipment, $100 million. Total recovered, $3.6 billion. Distribution, secured creditors, $3 billion. Lawyers and consultants, $350 million. Employees, $0. Vendors, pennies on the dollar. Private equity fees, still being collected.
Let's be clear about who won and who lost when Toys R Us died. The winners. Bain Capital. Initial investment, $450 million. Fees collected, $185 million. Real estate profits, $300 million. Total return, nearly doubled their money. Current status, managing $160 billion in assets. KKR. Initial investment, $450 million. Fees collected, $165 million. Financial engineering profits, $280 million. Total return, 100% profit. Current status, managing $500 billion in assets. Vornado. Got the best real estate. Now leasing to Amazon, the irony burns. Property values up 300%, total return, tripled investment. The losers. 33,000 employees. Lost jobs with no warning. Severance promised, $75 million. Severance paid, $0. Current status, many still unemployed or underemployed. Vendors. Owed $600 million. Recovered, maybe 10%. Several small toy companies went bankrupt. Pension funds. Underfunded by $300 million. Retirees affected, 15,000. Recovery, partial through government insurance.
gift card holders. Outstanding value, $90 million. Honored, 30 days, then worthless. Legal recourse, none. 2019, the zombie giraffe. Toys R Us is back. They opened 2 stores in malls in 2019 during the retail apocalypse in malls. They lasted 14 months. 2021, Toys R Us inside Macy's. 400 square feet sections in dying department stores selling toys at full price next to the luggage department. It's like holding a funeral in a morgue that's also having a funeral. Jeffrey the Giraffe now exists as a brand licensed to anyone who pays, an Instagram influencer at Jeffrey the Toys R Us Giraffe, a cautionary tale about American capitalism. The IP is owned by True Kids Inc., former executives who bought the corpse and are puppeting it around like Weekend at Bernie's Retail Edition. What did we learn? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Private equity still does leveraged buyouts. They still load companies with debt. They still extract fees while companies die. They still get away with it. Current private equity targets? Petco, debt-loaded and struggling. Staples, barely alive. Neiman Marcus, zombified. Your memories, next. The ultimate irony. Those 735 empty Toys R Us stores are now Amazon fulfillment centers, 107 locations, Spirit Halloween stores, seasonal zombification, storage units for stuff bought on Amazon, empty shells, metaphors for American retail. Charles Lazarus, founder, died March 22, 2018, 1 week after liquidation was announced. He lived just long enough to see his life's work murdered. His net worth at death? $1.3 billion. His employees' severance? $0.
Today, kids buy toys on Amazon. No experience, no magic, no running through aisles bigger than your house, no believing a store could be a wonderland. Just click, buy, consume, repeat. Jeff Bezos is worth $180 billion. The Toys R Us employees got nothing. But at least shipping is free with Prime. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. But growing up is mandatory when private equity owns your childhood and charges it a 7.25% interest rate, compounded quarterly, plus fees. Jeffrey the Giraffe wasn't laid off, he was murdered, and his killers made $400 million from the crime. This is America, where childhood memories are just another asset class, and everything you love can be leveraged, liquidated, and turned into a management fee. Welcome to late-stage capitalism, kids. There's no crying in the liquidation aisle. It was murdered by 3 Wall Street firms that saw a profitable company with real estate and decided to perform financial surgery with a chainsaw. They bought it for $6.6 billion with $1.3 billion of their own money. They made Toys R Us borrow the other $5.3 billion. They charged $400 million in fees. They walked away with profits, while 33,000 people lost their jobs. 33,000 employees who lost everything, and the millions of kids who lost their wonderland.